ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the music den. I'm Kumerai Fang, and BatAAR is back! Oh, I've been waiting over a year to talk about this group again. It has been far too long. For those who don't know, BatAAR is my favorite band of all time, and the last time they technically released anything, at least by my channel standards, was in February of last year, and to be honest, it's only made me anxious for a new song. No offense meant when I say this, I do like Lavender, and I think it was a good pick for a single. But to be honest, that song was always the obvious pick for a single, and having it be the last single off of Gravitas, not to mention the follow-up to Malignition, it felt like a bit of a letdown. So hearing they were releasing a new single, I dropped everything, and dear God was this needed. Give me something to feel a shit about. Drop my lines on the fire. In fact, not only was this needed, but it gave me the same chills that Riskbreaker did the first time I heard it. Riskbreaker is my favorite song of all time. Now, for those of you who know me, you know I make BatAAR reviews to make theories about the song's content and to try to make sense on what's happening in the music video. It goes without saying that I love the song in question. However, since last time, I came to terms that 1, I needed to seriously redeem myself, and 2, that I needed to justify calling this a song review by talking more about the music. And what better way than to take my favorite band and to pit him up against this guy. I mean, he's only one of the most popular YouTube musicians we have. Only makes sense I review him at some point. It's what we're made to do. You act like we're to blame. This is Nathan Sharp, aka NateWantsToBattle. As said, he's a YouTube musician, but he's also a cover artist and Let's Player. When it comes to his music, he usually makes one of two types of songs. The ones that are based off games, like the one you're hearing right now, and his own original songs. You know I never mean well. I can't help but myself. Most all of these have a rock edge that's very reminiscent of 2000s mainstream rock. Very Panic meets Fob. Despite that, Nate and I have a very complicated relationship with each other. I mean, he's got great pipes and charisma, he knows how to make a catchy song, and his songwriting is usually pretty good, with maybe the 1 or 2 cringy lyrics every now and again. It's like a monster in the night, it's giving me a fright, I'm battling a gluten-free fight. Yeah, those tend to hurt, but I usually don't have to worry about them. Nate usually knows what he's doing. If I had to land my sticking point with NateWantsToBattle, it's this. Despite his ability to make good music, the songs themselves rarely ever gel with me for too long. Save for a handful of songs, the magic doesn't last. Songs I would have thought were great at first listen eventually lose their charm and range somewhere between mediocre and good. It's kind of frustrating actually, because I do like Nate as a musician and I really want to love what he puts out there, but I just can't! Now, looking at all the songs I do love by him, I've noticed something about myself. That being, I tend to like Nate a lot more when the narrators in his songs are evil, cruel, or, in the case of today's topic, sadistic. Oh, the feels Phantom gives me. It's been a while since I've loved a song this quickly. Not only that, but this may be my favorite NateWantsToBattle song so far. As you might have guessed, both this and Devour will appear in a different video come next January, but I have a bit of a problem. I don't know which one I like more. Yeah, here's the thing about these songs. They're both dark in their own ways, which hits me in a set of sweet spots that not many songs can. I've listened to them about the same, and I've yet to get tired of them. So that's the real task for today, determining the better of 2 songs that I love equally. To do this, I need to do something that I've never done properly on this channel before. Welcome to the YouTube song battle! I know BatAAR's music very well at this point. Like most songs, they're like a roller coaster, but unlike most songs, the dips and loops can happen at any given point. I mean, Devour starts with these heavy guitar riffs and kick-ass drums, but once Indigo comes on the mic, the song shifts into a different beast. and drums take a back seat to these eerie synths, and from there the song just builds into another set of riffs that are even heavier than in the introduction.
Revelry and fucking
They play with your expectations a bit, not afraid to stray away from the main melodies, but not to the point where it feels like a different song or that it changes the tone. And unlike most songs, the second verse takes you on another hectic ride before the bridge shows up, which just slows down the entire song. They do all of this with the aforementioned guitars, drums, and synths, as well as a bass. They're used in a way to create an unnerving, aggressive banger. Small nitpick, the guitar solo feels a bit restrained, but I rarely ever think about it when I listen to the song. Worth pointing out, though. So what does Nate bring to the table? Okay, same sets of instruments, only instead of synths, we've got horns and, Is there a piano in here somewhere? Yes there is. Okay, got it. If there's one similarity I found between this song and Devour, it's with the verses. It's not much of one. Nate's songs usually follow the standard song structure, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, repeat once, then bridge, then final chorus. But where the first verse sets the stage by playing simple chords with the drums playing in the background.
I'm just a phantom in your room with no intent on leaving soon.
The second verse gives the guitar and bass more of a melody, creating even more of a groove and build-up than the previous verse.
You wanna take a leap of faith, you wanna do this face to face.
It's a small change, but it's one that works the song's advantage, not quite hitting ground zero and building up for the chorus again. If anything, it makes it more satisfying. Both songs' instrumentation work effectively. Which one is better is honestly up to taste. Devour likes playing with your expectations, and where that may be a plus to some, others would say that this fact makes it lack cohesion. Phantom undoubtedly has cohesion to it, but others may think the song doesn't do enough with what it has to take it over the top. Personally, I think Nate did the best he could have done with this. He already tried experimenting with songs like Take Me Anywhere, and I honestly think it hurt him. BatAAR, I feel, know what they're doing at this point, and Devour doesn't change that mindset. No matter what twists and turns it took, it never felt like a blocky mess or that a different song started playing in the middle of the track. It takes advantage of them and turns them into pure insanity. Unfortunately for Nate, I much prefer songs like this. Point goes to BatAAR. It's always important to consider how well singers can carry their tunes. When they can't, it's usually very noticeable, and it tends to ruin your experience with the song.
I'm so sick of that same old love. That shit, it tears me up.
Some more than others, but that's beside the point. You see, there are songs out there that try to cover up the vocalist as much as possible. And I'd be lying if I said these two acts haven't fell prey to it every now and again. Whether it was intentional or not is up for debate. It's incredibly rare that BatAAR does this, but Nate isn't any different in that regard. In fact, this is the one area that's almost never been an issue for him. In his songs, he's the star, and he makes his vocals the spotlight. Now, Nate does have a decent range, but like most male vocalists I've come across, his wheelhouse is in his middle range. So, as long as the music is strong, he can stand out against the mix, and he doesn't use vocal effects that make him blend in with the instrumentation.
I'm not what you want, but I'm exactly what you need.
He's good to go.
Let's pretend let's pretend it's for real.
And then there's Indigo. Now, to be completely honest with you guys, I've always thought comparing Indigo to Nate was ridiculous. To me, Nate's power wasn't something Indigo could match. Joining BatAAR has definitely changed that mindset. It allowed him to show off in two areas that Nate has absolutely nothing on. First off, his range is wider. And not only can he scream, but his skill set in this area is actually much wider than most musicians I've listened to. However, much like Nate, his wheelhouse is still in his middle range, meaning so long as the music is strong, he can stand out against the mix, and so long as he doesn't use vocal effects that makes him blend in with the instrumentation, he's good to go. I'm sorry, could you play that again? I'm pretty sure I didn't hear that right. No. Oh, no, you guys did not just fucking do that. I don't know how well my audience is hearing this right now, but I've tried listening to this part in 3 different sets of headphones and 2 different sets of speakers. Endigo's voice practically blends with the guitars at this point in the song. It only lasts for a few seconds, but it's a few seconds I can't ignore. It's in the introduction, it's hard to miss, and it makes it hard to hear Endigo. Forget what he's saying. This is a bigger issue for me because of how much emphasis BatAAr puts into their songwriting. It kind of requires your vocalist to be heard. I blame this more on who mixed and mastered the song than I do with Endigo himself. His delivery is solid throughout the rest of the song, and he rides the beat with ease. Even if this part didn't miff me, I feel like the only fair way to grade these 2 vocalists is to look at their singing. Specifically at points where they have to carry themselves, where the song slows down, and where the instrumentation can be a plus for them as much as it can be a detriment. Enter the bridge.
Lost our minds and we took it way too far.
The bridge of a song is the space before the last chorus, either between 2 final choruses or between the last verse and the last chorus. It's a bit in the song that's not long enough to really count as a verse, but can be a highlight for singers if handled well. A good bridge adds in a new melodic piece to the song without it feeling out of place. Whoever sings on it uses the instrumentation to build the song up to its final climax in a way that feels even more satisfying than it did on the verses. The performances are powerful, and more often than not, said singers are the biggest highlight in this part of the song. A bad bridge, on the other hand, adds little to nothing instrumentally, and the singer, at best, is lucky to keep their heads above the water. The performance is usually lackluster, clumsy, lazy, dispassionate, and/or awkward. It's not hard to notice. It may seem like a small, little fragment of a whole song, but that small fragment has the power to kick your song up a notch or flush it down the shitter. It's amazing how much a few seconds actually count. So, how does Endigo do on his bridge? He's okay. It's not bad. It does slow down the song, but it's nothing special. It just feels a little too empty, and it makes Endigo sound a bit awkward as a result. With that, how did Nate do?
This world is what you need, where the monsters roam and the demons all feed.
Better! Much better, actually. The bridge in Phantom isn't overly complex. The instrumentation takes a bit of a backseat to Nate, only picking up towards the end of 2 of his lines. It allows him to hold the spotlight, and not only does Nate carry himself, but he also heightens up the instrumentation with his delivery. I would go as far to argue that he's the best part about it. Devour's bridge, on the other hand, gives the song a chance to breathe, which it definitely needed. Unfortunately, where Endigo carries himself alright, I wouldn't call his performance anything to write home about. It's fine, but that's it. Round 2 goes to Phantom, and Nate is still in the game. When I started writing this script, I thought comparing the lyrics to these songs was a bit redundant, mainly because I feel like both handle their subject matters equally well, even though their writing styles are very different. BatAAr leaves their subject matter up for debate, meaning they let fans theorize what their songs are about, and as a result, their writing tends to be more symbolic and poetic. It leaves you wondering what each lyric could be referring to. Nate, on the other hand, is a lot more direct. You usually don't have to think that hard about the subject matter, and Phantom is not much of an exception. I'll admit, the first few times through, I didn't know exactly where the song was going. All I knew was that the narrator was a sadistic bastard and that he was the only one taking pleasure in the situation. Third or fourth time through, lyrics at the ready, I got a clear picture by the second stanza.
Another ghost that's in your bed that you wish you could leave for dead. Ain't no magic what can make me disappear.
The narrator this song has a relationship with whoever it is he's speaking with. As you might have guessed, he's not exactly a healthy presence to have around, but no matter how much this person tries to get rid of him, he's confident he can bring things back to the beginning, leaving this person stuck in a never-ending cycle with him getting as much enjoyment out of it as he can, as confirmed by the chorus.
I'm not what you want, but I'm exactly what you need. I'm a shooting star that wish you never made it.
Every line in this song plays into its content perfectly, and while the chorus is fantastic, I think this is the best line in the whole song.
The city lights will drown you out in the exposure.
Smug and conceited, I love it. So, what about BatAAr? Well, as said, they let people make theories about their song's content, and when they have music videos like Devour's, they also let them theorize on what the hell is going on. Meaning, where there are certainly many indicators, there are no real confirmed meaning to the lyrics themselves. This song is aggressive, and it definitely sounds like the narrator is going after the person they're talking to for insert whatever their bullshit is here.
Rivalry and fucking.
In that, though, there lies a problem. The framing.
Give me something to feel ashamed about.
The narrator doesn't have a typical role for this kind of expose your bullshit type of song. The chorus alone embodies this to a T. Like the rest of the song, it starts off by attacking the person in question.
Cross the line to insanity. The will becomes the need.
It picks up and starts to poke more at them.
Now you've given us part of your soul.
Then all of a sudden, this happens.
I'll deliver. Now what is my role? We pay the price. Pay the price. This is how you made us fucking monsters.
What is going on? The only way I can understand what this song is about is understand who the narrator is and who he's speaking to. The way the lyrics are written, especially in the chorus, I know that there's a clear answer there. But it's honestly hard to put your finger on, and if you can't understand these two things, you won't understand what a song is about. It's also the only way to understand all the symbolism in the music video, which is far more complex than the Malignition video. However, while I was analyzing these two things, I started to remember something. A very, shitty something.
Yeah, cone hats. Yo, you guys are good.
No, I'm not kidding. Wish I was! This controversy made my blood boil in a way that I had not experienced before. For those who didn't know a thing about this, Logan Paul made the first YouTube controversy of 2018 when he uploaded vlogs of him while he was in Japan. The largest offense by far was the video he took in the Japanese suicide forest, where him and his crew found a dead body, and rather than shut off the camera and call the cops, like they should have, they zoomed in on the body, they didn't blur it out or anything. It was disgusting and disrespectful on so many levels, I can't even begin. This all happened in January, and no matter how pissed I was when it happened, it still happened. And time moved on, and I decided not to focus on something so negative. So, why does BatAAr's new song remind me of this? I didn't have a concrete answer at the time, so I rewatched some of the response videos I saw after this all went down. I soon found what I was looking for through one specific response by Anime America. It was a vlog where Robin explained what happened, explained some of the culture surrounding Japan, and the suicide forest.
They are so constantly stressed over their jobs and being the best in their fields, and it gets to them to the point where they suffer exhaustion on a daily basis.
It's a well-made response, but what caught me off guard was what she said about Logan Paul. Something that no one else has said about him before, at least to my knowledge.
I almost kind of feel sorry for the guy, because maybe that's just running through his mind right now, that all he's constantly thinking about is what his viewers want, what his followers want, how his people will react to this.
Ding. Light bulb.
Huh. So, this song is from the point of view of some random viewer or follower calling out the bullshit of a social media people pleaser. Interesting. You know these types of quote-unquote entertainers. They do what they do for the paycheck and to appease whatever fan base they got. Indeed, the will becomes the need in this sense. And honestly, those who let their fans have this power over them, like Logan Paul, did so because they wouldn't draw the line anywhere. In the desire to appease them, they give their fans power over what they put out.
This is how you made us fucking monsters.
The entire song, straight down to the title, is a never-ending cycle. From putting stuff out, to consuming their fans' desires, to putting stuff out. Rinse, repeat! I'm sorry if it seems like I'm getting a bit too excited about this. It's just, the more I think about this, the more pieces just seem to fall together. Not just with the song itself, but with the music video. I mean, you think we start with End is Zombie on the first verse for no reason?
Give me something to feel a shit about.
And that's just touching the surface. You still got the Blood Prince preparing the meal, the band members eating corpses on the table, the Sea Beauty getting shares and likes on her selfie, and Tobias force-feeding an eyeball to one of the models. All of it coincides with the theme of the song. Okay, I'm getting carried away now. I need to award a point to someone. As redundant as it seemed to compare the lyrics to these songs, I knew I had to. You'd end up with a tie if that happened, and then we'd be back to where we started, yeah! I walked into that one, I'm sorry, but I'm not leaving this on a tie. That does mean nothing. So, how do you grade two perfectly good sets of lyrics? Well, at the end of the day, song lyrics are basically poems that are sung. So, the best thing that I could do, at least, is take these poems away from the music and the people who made them, then just pick the one I'm drawn to read more. I find that the way you start your writing is actually very important. You want to hook people in, and as you'd expect with two different styles of writing, both Nate and BatAAr have different ways to go about it. Nate dives right into his first verse, quickly introducing himself and the situation.
I'm just a phantom in your room, with no intent on leaving soon. And you're still not even sure just how I got it.
While BatAAr has an introduction that sets the stage for the rest of the song. In the end, looking at them both, look, okay, I love BatAAr and everything, but I'm far more attracted to Phantom's writing. An introduction to a song is like a prologue to a book. It sets the stage for what's about to happen, but it doesn't compare to the meat that comes in the chapters. And even a good prologue can be a chore to go through for some. BatAAr, guys, I love you and everything, but the last point goes to Phantom.
I'm not what you want, but I'm exactly what you need.
Yes, Nate, apparently you are. True, BatAAr is my favorite band of all time, and I do think they're better musicians than Nate, but I can't deny it. This song just ropes me in. I can listen to it in any mood, and the narrator, though sadistic, is too charismatic and having way too much fun for it not to be infectious. Less is more in this case, and Nate found exactly what to do with it to win me over. And we are done. I'll be leaving links to Nate's and BatAAr's YouTube channels in the description below, as well as to their music videos. Go check them out if you haven't. As for me, the second part of the Wayback Premiere is up next, as well as top 20 ranked for summer, so don't miss a thing. With that, signing off the Music Den, I'm Kumerai Fang, off to hunt my next prey.
This is how